Hello and welcome to Time Hack. I am your host, the Minuteman, and this is part 2 of my yearly collection start point. Let's hit that intro. Okay, good people. If you would drop me a like, share this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, it would mean a lot to me. And at the end of this video, even during the video, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think so far. If any of these pieces stand out to you, or from my first installment of this series, leave me a comment. Tell me what that piece is, what you want to hear about it, and I'm going to prioritize that in my 2-week wear review. Now, let's get on into this video. So, my yearly collection start point videos are to showcase what I have and what you have to look forward to from my channel. So I'm going to wear all the pieces in my collection for 2 weeks straight to better get to know my watch and put out a decent review for you. So this particular installment, part 2, is going to showcase my Flieger pilot watches, my field watches, as well as my dive watches. But this is a digital piece. Now, my first video was my digitals and dress watches, but I've got so many watches, I neglected to bring this one up. I actually believe this might have been on my wrist at the time, so I got to make sure I introduce what's on my wrist this time. But this is a pretty nice, it's a pretty cheap little quartz digital that I picked up off eBay. Camaro, that was one of my first, well, that is my first car. I loved it. It was an 86 IROC. I thought I was the coolest in that thing. I definitely was not as cool as I thought, but you know what? That car is past and out of my life. Hopefully I'll find another one, but until then, I'm going to rock this Camaro watch. But this video is not about digital, so it's got to get out of here. All right, first watch to talk about is going to be the one on my wrist. This is a Timex. It's kind of modeled after the World War I era trench watches. I am going to use this as my fun duty watch. Super nerdy of me, but I like to have a watch I can take with me when I'm out doing soldier things. That kind of picks up my spirits, lightens my mood up a little bit, and I think this piece will do it for me. It's a recent acquisition. I think I paid like $60. The inspiration for this pickup was from Random Rob's channel. He did a little short on it, and I jumped on it right away. It's a quartz movement, but it's also got Indiglow, which is going to be great for out in the field. What's not going to be great about it is it's got pretty limited water resistance, and I'm pretty sure this is a either an acrylic or some plastic kind of crystal. It gives great distortion though. It's on a OCP or multicam, whichever one of the two. I can never distinguish. NATO from Crown and Buckle. So it's definitely old school design on a modern uniform pattern. So anyway, that is the first watch and what's on my wrist. Next up is a Junkers pilot's watch. And this one's a special edition from, I guess, in honor of Hugo Junkers. So it's a pretty storied airplane manufacturer from Germany. It says made in Germany on the dial. Super great watch. It normally doesn't live on this NATO, but I'm a little sparse on straps right now, which is a piece or an aspect of my collection that I need to, sorry about that, I need to fix. So normally it looks pretty good on a leather, but this is my only pilot's watch. So I love it. It was a gift to me from my father for starting my new job. And yeah, I love this date wheel, by the way. That's completely different from most watches that I have and seen. All right, next up is my other field watch. And I'm not going to count my duty watches, the Casios, as field watches just yet, although I would say that they are the ultimate field watch. I grabbed myself a microfiber here to kind of clean up these crystals. But just an amazing watch. I love the NATO it came on with these leather keepers. It's not really a cheap watch, but it definitely holds up to the value that you pay. The leather kind of gives you a premium feel. Case finishing is great. I gotta not dive in too deep on these watches because I'm gonna save those for actual videos. But I just love this thing. It is. It just harkens back to those watches that were issued to servicemen in Korea and Vietnam, more so Vietnam and later. So I love wearing this. This does not ever go out into the field with me because I don't trust it enough, mainly because it doesn't have a screw down crown. If it had a screw down crown, maybe we could play ball, but for how much I spent on it, nah, I'd rather rock the Casio G-Shock. Okay, so that pretty much wipes out every other watch minus the dive watches, which I have a lot of. All right, so I am gonna go start with another gift, and this one is a Save the Ocean Seiko Solar Chronograph dive watch. Yeah, I love dive watches. I don't know if the chronograph makes sense for a dive watch, but you know what? It looks cool. So, and I love the blue on this. It's on I believe this is cheapest NATO's parachute. I don't know, I forgot what they call it. Not a parachute strap, but well, whatever this strap is, it's pretty good for this watch. It's pretty heavy, so you definitely need to cinch it down on the wrist, but just a wonderful blue. Moving on, let's go cover the next Seiko, actually. Okay, now this I am pretty proud of. This is a birth year watch for me. And there's a little something on the crystal there. And it is a Gray Ghost. And this is the hybrid movement, which was the Seiko kinetic movement. So you got your standard rotor in the back there, but that kinetic motion is charging up your battery. So you got a little harsh stuttering seconds hand, but you know what? I can forgive it because of the uniqueness of that movement. Loom's still rock solid and entirely titanium. And this bracelet is a Seiko titanium bracelet for this watch. So definitely really happy that I picked this up. That's my birth year watch there. All right, so those are the two Seikos done. Let's go and let's move on to my Caravelles. I have 3 Caravelles, probably one too many, but I love Bulova, and since Caravelle is a subsidiary of Bulova, I'm into that as well. And you can pick them up for a pretty good price. It's kind of a sleeper brand, but these are all vintage. I do love vintage watches, especially dive watches. This little gem is running strong. I love this watch. This is a cheap shark mesh and full milled clasp that I got from AliExpress, which was a pain to size to my tiny wrists, but you know, whatever. I bought some snips that I was able to clip these individual links off until finally it fit my wrist. But I love the dial. It is not black, not blue, but a very, very, very dark blue. And then those bright orange indexes and second hands, which glow wonderfully. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to. I have to. Just look at that seconds hand. That's great. It doesn't last long. I mean, it's from the 70s, so you know what? I can give it a pass. Next up is this crazy, funky UFO. I don't even know if this is a diver. But, you know, just from the colors, the brightness of it, I'm going to lump it in with the dive watches. This thing is crazy because it's a plastic case and it's sealed. I have no idea how I would ever service this piece. If it goes on me, I think that's that. It's done. This piece, on the other hand, I have worked on the movement before, and I'm confident I'll be able to save this. No clue what's in this. But you know what? I'm going to rock it till it dies. Then there's this. So this is a Caravelle 333. 333 feet, waterproof. This guy, I did replace all the seals on, and I serviced the movement on this. It's got such a great wind on it now. It's got a pretty awesome friction fit bezel. That not only does your standard 60-minute countdown timer, but it also does 12 hours. And it's got a 24-hour dial. I mean, combination that I've not seen today. You know, unlike this piece here, this just says water resistant. This here has 333. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bulova Devil Diver, but there is a Caravelle Devil Diver that's got a water resistant rating of 666. I haven't picked one of those up yet. I'm not entirely sure if I ever will. But I love this, and I think just with that different water rating that people aren't really going for, I think that's cool too. So yeah, serviced by myself, gaskets replaced by myself. Haven't done it to this thing. This thing is a champ. I can't believe how well it's running. Anyway, that's enough about the Caravelles. Moving on to another brand that I have 3 pieces of, one of which is going to be in the following video. This is Duxot. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. If someone knows, definitely let me know, and I'd love to drive on saying the name of this brand correctly. But I'm going to call it Duxot, and I'm probably going to say it different every time. This is my first ever titanium. This is my second titanium. I think I only have 2 titaniums right now. But this is a amazing 39 or 40 millimeter dive watch. And I believe it retails for $600-700 on Duxot's store. I don't really know if I would have paid that. I did not. I got super lucky because I think they partner with Watchbox or Watch Gang, and people get them in their subscriptions all the time, and they don't like them, I guess. They end up on YouTube, not YouTube, but eBay, really cheap. So I picked this one up for a steal, all titanium watch, Seiko NH35, amazing crystal on there. And the AR coating is just beautiful. It gives you purple and blues. The loom is bonkers. Just great. Oh yeah, loomed bezel. So you get different color loom for your bezel as you do your markers. So just a great watch for the money I paid for it. And you know what? I might even say no, I can't say it's worth 600, 300 for stretching it, maybe. But anyway, love it. If you can pick one up, this is the Forza. The next Duxot I have here is this was an impulse buy. I don't really like it. It's not horrible. It's my only Fume dial, and it's blue. I do love blue, but that's kind of all I can say about it. Seiko NH35 in it again. What I will say though is the case on it is great. It has these hooded lugs, and so with that hooded lug, you get a super tight fit of your bracelet around your wrist, so it's very, very comfortable. But you know, it's like any other Seiko NH35 powered watch. It runs well, but you know, this bezel is pretty stiff, and the grips aren't really all that great. So I'm trying to get it back into place here. One more. So, but you know, I'll still wear it for 2 weeks. Since I purchased it, this was my decision. I did it to myself. I would not pay retail for this. I'm sure this one was like $300-400 on their store. I thankfully did not pay that for this. But I'll still do a review, and I'll still wear it. I don't know if it'll stay in my collection afterwards, though. But, yeah. So, that has been part 2 of my yearly collection start point. Next up for part 3 is going to be, I believe, chronographs and the Boneyard. Now, what's the Boneyard? It's a bunch of watches that I have obtained that either I might be able to fix, might not be able to fix, but they're mine, and I'm going to do my best to bring them back to life. And if I can't, I probably still can't bring myself to throw them away because I like them. But I got to do something with them. So I'd love to show you all about those watches in the upcoming video. Well, all right, guys. Always ready, always there. Minuteman out.